Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to hike to Gray's Peak here in the Big Bear area of Southern California. This is a pretty popular hike for a few reasons. It's very scenic. You go through kind of the classic Big Bear pine forest with the boulders and everything. It's only about 1,100 feet of climbing. It's very gradual. It's very easy to follow the trail. About 7 miles round trip, and at the top you get to Gray's Peak, which has great views. You can see Big Bear Lake, very low Big Bear Lake. You can see to Mount Baldy and Angeles National Forest. You can see San Bernardino. Really big payoffs for not so tough of an effort. It doesn't feel like a big mountain climb in any way. One thing to note, in the spring, occasionally bald eagles will nest here, and when that happens, they close the trail down in order to give them some space and hopefully have their eggs hatch. I will put a link to the website where you can check on whether the trail is closed or not, along with all the parking and permit info on HikingGuy.com. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link to that right under the video, so check that guide out before you actually drive up here, because the trail might be closed. And as you're watching the video, if you like it, if you could do me a favor, as always, just click the little thumbs up button. Easy way to say thank you, easy way to have other people find the video and hopefully know what to expect when they come here. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you the turn-by-turn directions, and I'll show you what the hike looks like on a 3D map so you can kind of get a lay of the land, understand the geography. So when you do get here, you can look at the peaks and say, oh, that's Sugarloaf Mountain, or that's San Gorgonio, or whatever it might be. All right, guys, let's hit the trail.
All right, so there's a nice big parking lot here, and you do need a pass because there's a bathroom. And the actual hike starts at the trailhead here, which is very well marked, as are most of these trails here around Big Bear Lake. And in the beginning, we're going to go along the road here. This is the road around the lake to Fawnskin, and we're going to start to gently climb up. Now, it's not a tough climb. It's really beautiful. There's a lot of sort of old growth forest here. You can see the trail winding up around the bend over there. And in general, it's a pretty mellow climb as we head up here. And of course, being Big Bear, you have all of these boulder fields, these large boulders as we go up. It's always interesting and fun to see them. Great with kids as we hike up here. And once we get to the sort of end of the first little climb, it levels out a little bit. There's some signs here saying, do take an e-bike or don't take an e-bike, something like that. But after about 3/4 of a mile, you're going to come to this big clearing. Back behind you is a yellow post campsite. If you want to camp for free, you can do it there. But otherwise, we're going to join up with this Forest Service road and keep going straight here. Now, while this is a road, you can see it's not too big. It's not like a big road that a lot of off-roaders are hitting. It's a pretty mellow experience. And after a little while, we're going to come to another junction with the Forest Service road, coming in from the left over there. And at this point, we're just going to go kind of bear right. Now, once you make this right-hand turn after, I don't know, maybe about 200 yards, you're going to see the turnoff for Gray's Peak Trail on your left here. And we're going to leave the Forest Service road behind. There you can see the well-marked sign. And we're going to head up to Gray's Peak on a single track from here on out. So it's much nicer, but even the other part is pretty nice. It's not like a Cleveland National Forest dirt road. And you can see here we're going to climb up along these little drainages through this old growth forest here. At some point, we're going to come up above the trees. You can see Del Mar Mountain ahead right there, and then over to the right, Bertha Peak. And if we keep looking back, we're going to see Sugarloaf Mountain and the points kind of towards the other side of Big Bear Lake. Now, you can see from these videos here that it's a great hike for the fall. So you can see all the colors are changing, the leaves are changing. When we get to this point, you can get a glimpse of Big Bear Lake down here, and we're going to do this kind of 180 and head back southeast. Now, those mountains right in front of us, it's Angeles National Forest and Mount Baldy right over there. And if you look up through the trees here, you're going to be able to see the fire tower, and I have some information on the fire tower in the guide as well. And if you look straight ahead up on that hill, it's small, but there's a mule deer running around. I almost always see mule deer here, especially early in the morning when I go up here. I've also seen mountain lion tracks, nothing I would be worried about, but where you see deer, you're going to have, they're predators. But I don't think there's been any problems ever here with mountain lions. After twisting down and around a little bit, you can see the peak, which I've heard referred to as a forested knob. It's not sort of a jutting, dramatic peak up here, but straight ahead, we're going to climb up more boulders as we climb up towards the final peak area. And you can see, again, it's uphill, but it's pretty mellow here. Eventually, we're going to gain the ridge. You're going to get views down to the south. You can really see sort of the high line of high peaks, Sugarloaf Mountain right ahead there, which is another fun hike. If you want to do that, I have the guide for that on Hiking Guy. But otherwise, we're going to keep on heading up here, and eventually you're going to come out, you're going to see really great views of San Gorgonio and the highline San Bernardino Peak all down to the south there. If you do this in the winter, it'll be snowy. It's really a beautiful experience. Now, after a little bit, you're going to come to a junction. If you go to the left, you can go up to the peak. We'll do that in a second. But if you go straight, you're going to go to the overlook, which I think has better views. It's pretty much a tie. There's also a witness post here, this triangular post. If you want to know what that's all about, I have a video about that on Hiking Guy as well. If you want to know what these triangular signs are, I'll let you know. But here you can see beautiful views, kind of the length of Big Bear Lake. Now when you're done here, we're going to go back to that last junction and then do the steep little section uphill here to get to the actual peak, or forested knob, as has been said. And then here we are on the peak. There's a bunch of boulders. There's usually not any kind of sign or any marker here that I know of, but you can come up, look around. You're going to get some nice panoramic views down to Big Bear Lake once again. The high peaks in the south. Then if you look back the other way, you're going to see the fire tower and Angeles National Forest, and that's it. All right, here you can see we start down by the lake, we head up to the peak, and you can kind of see from this 3D view here that it's a pretty gradual climb. This is the park from the parking lot. We have some gradual ups and downs a little bit. The trail flattens out. And then we go past the yellow post site. We join the Forest Service Road right here. We're twisting on the Forest Service Road a bit. And if we go in here, you can really see this is where that turnoff is for the Grays Peak Trail. And from there, we're doing single track up the mountain here. We come out, we can see down over here to Delmar Mountain. Right there, it is Delmar Mountain, Bertha Peak over there. That's the Cougar Crest Trail. If you want to do that, it's another great hike. And then there's Sugarloaf Mountain down across the lake. But let's go ahead and head back and keep on heading up. Here we come out at the overlook, and this is where we had that sharp turn going back. And if we angle up a little bit, let's see if we can see Angeles National Forest. It's right around, it's right through there. This is where the fire lookout is. But anyway, we're going to come around and then wind back up around. You can see there's some fire damage here, and I'll talk about that in the guide as well. But we're going to come all the way up till we get to the ridge over here, and this is where we could see the high peaks. There's San Gorgonio in the distance. You could see that from this ridge right there. And then we wind up and around. This is where the intersection was. There's the overlook. You can see this is where we came down. And if you look this way, you get some nice views of Big Bear Lake. And then we come up to the summit. And again, there's the view you get down the lake. Pretty spectacular. Sugarloaf, the high peaks over here, San Bernardino, San Gorgonio. And then back around to the other side, you can see Angeles National Forest in the distance. There it is, back through there. So that's the hike. Once you get up to the peak, you just go back the way you came.